Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more March of the Machine action. Today we're playing a deck that I would like to call Dragon Value because we're playing Jeskai midrange with Zurgo and Ojutai as sort of our top end here. It's 5 mana, 4/4 Flying Haste Dragon. When it enters the battlefield, it has Hexproof for that turn, and whenever it connects with the opponent, or a dragon you control connects with the opponent, you can actually look at the top 3 cards of your library and pick one of them out and put it into your hand. You can also bounce Zurgo and Ojutai to your hand, so you can kind of keep this dragon out of harm's way because it has hexproof when it enters. So you can do this kind of bouncing thing, or you can leave it onto the battlefield and just keep on swinging in with it every turn. But we're playing with a ton of new cards here for March of the Machine, hoping to get some value here. We got Oracle of Tragedy, which can shuffle in cards, or it can draw and discard, which is kind of nice. Finding cards, or just reoccurring our best cards from our graveyard into our deck so we're more likely to draw them is nice. We're playing Rona, Herald of Invasion, because why not? This card is pretty awesome. Drawing and discarding just by tapping. 3 toughness is good. Can also transform it into Tolarian Obliterator, which can allow us to cast spells from our hand for free if it takes damage, which is pretty awesome. Besides that, we also have Guardian of Ghirapur as a new card here, which allows us to blink one of our creatures. When it enters the battlefield, that creature will return at the end of our turn. So we can blink our Spirited Companions, or our Lauren of the Third Path, or our Oracle of Tragedy. So there's a ton of things to blink. Besides that, we are playing Knight-Errant of Eos, which we can convoke in, and when we convoke it, we can look at the top 6 cards of our library, and depending on the number of creatures we convoke with, we can grab 2 creatures of that mana value, the number of creatures that we convoke with. And then lastly, one of the cards that I'm super happy to be playing here is Sludge Monster, which is 5 mana 5/5. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you get to put a slime creature onto up to 1 target creature, and then non-horror creatures with slime counters lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 2/2. So this is kind of our removal here besides our Faithful Absence. So I found that this deck actually performed quite alright on the ladder. We'll see how we can do today. But yeah. If you have any questions about the deck, there should be a link in the description to Aether Hub where you can see the full deck list. You can also ask comments in the description, or join the Discord in the description and ask me questions there. But yeah, let's see how we do. If you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing. We try and make fun, interesting decks in Standard daily. Sometimes they don't work though. Sometimes we lose, but we have Rona here and we have Faithful Absence as removal. Ouch, that hurt a little. Yeah, we don't have a ton of life gain here. We do have one, the flying 2/1 angel that draws you a card and gains you a life. Yep, kind of expected that. Alright, now we're... Right, maybe I should have mulliganed because, kind of need our opponent to be doing stuff here. If they play another card. Hostile Core, we'll probably get rid of that. Delve is annoying, but kind of don't want them having my creature. Oh my goodness. Well, we do. Maybe the mana curve needs work on it, but we'll see how we do. If we get the Zurgo and Ojutai down, that'll be pretty good. Opponent looks like they're playing like a sacrifice Orzhov Phyrexians, which makes some sense. My turn. I think what we're gonna actually do here is we're just gonna come in with Zurgo. We're gonna have to pay some life here, but that's fine. We do have a Sunset Revelry to gain life. If they have a Sheoldred's Edict, they will be able to get rid of our Zurgo and Ojutai. Our opponent definitely has removal here, I think. So maybe we'll bounce Zurgo and Ojutai, but first we have to pick a card. A Spirited Companion seems pretty good. You know what? We're gonna gamble and see if they get rid of the Zurgo and Ojutai. We'd love it to stick around, but I think we don't want to give up too much tempo on the board here, though. Granted, our opponent doesn't have a whole lot going on themselves. That's a pretty good card. You can get in with Ran here. You get to lose life, draw a card. Not bad. Crawling Course, also not too bad. Alright, so we can drop... Well, let's drop the Spirit Companion first so we can draw. Actually, we could get in with Zurgo and Ojutai. The question is, do we want to block with our dragon here, or we can look for more cards. think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and look at more cards real quick. Because this can perhaps help us make our decision on what we play. Another Zurgo and Ojutai is kind of nice, but another land that allows us to also hold up Surge of Salvation, which might be relevant. We'll go grab a land. We're not going to return that to our hand. I think we'll go ahead and play this so that we can go ahead and tax our opponent's hand if they have anything like Shieldred. Go for the loaded processor and Skrell's Hive. Well, they're going to be able to cast any of these if they want. I think we'll just go ahead and tax their bloated processor so that it's terribly expensive because otherwise it's a little bit intimidating. I think we can get away with playing the Spirit Companion here before we play down replace our Sunset Reverie. We also have this Surge of Salvation, a new card. 1 mana, you and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn, prevent all damage that black or red sources would deal to creatures you control this turn. So it's a very good protection spell. We're playing only 2 copies of it though, because I found that, like, yeah, it's nice and everything, but at the same time you don't want to be... do we block with the Anointed Peacekeeper and go with the Surge of Salvation? Nah, I think we go with this and see if our opponent wants to we kind of have to hold this up in case they go for the throat. Each player can cast can't cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn. Non-Phyrexian creatures enter the battlefield tap. That card might have to go. That might be our Faithful Absence target. There we go. Our opponent goes for the removal Surge of Salvation. We can go ahead and give our creatures hexproof. Bye-bye. We get to survive that, which is nice. This Phyrexian Sensor is going to have to go though because, oh crap, Skrell. Alright, that's a little awkward. We do have 2 copies of Skrell ourselves. We are on the way of just removing our opponent. What do we want? A mountain could allow for nothing. Alright, we get the Sludge Monster, Surge Monster. You know what, we're going to actually return it to our hand. And there's a specific reason, because I don't want them to have any excuse to remove it so that we can just kind of chip through at our opponent these next 2 turns and hopefully win the game that way. We'll see. Opponent does have a lot of damage on board, but we do have a Sunset Reverie. But we also kind of need a Phyrexian Center to go. So they have to kill the Peacekeeper if they want to attack in with the Sensor. And if they're not attacking in with the Sensor, we're okay. We're going to block the Sensor if they attack in. They allow us to block the Sensor. This is huge. You can't give it hexproof now. It's not protected, it's hexproof and unblockable. They already allowed it to go to the blocking phase, so it still dies. That is one thing that you have to be careful here with your Skrell, is that actually keep track of that. That is a bit of a problem though. I forgot that Vran can help gain them life. We though do have Sunset Reverie. We don't have less life than them. Alright, there's a way to fix this. Wait, Control Z. We're going to pay some life to gain some life. So now we have less life than them. This will actually trigger our Sunset Reverie. Very nice. And then we can swing in with Zurgo and Ojutai, and hopefully we'll survive 1 more turn. We will have to block their Bloated Processor. If they make their Bloated Processor unblockable, I think we just die, actually. So we can... Oh, do we have to get rid of their Bloated Processor? I think we might have to. Their Skrell is tapped down. I think we either have to get rid of Skrell or Bloated Processor, but the Bloated Processor is almost a bigger problem because of the fact they can sack to trigger Vran to gain life. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Ouch. I don't even think we needed to pay life for a Sunset Rover if we casted this. Okay, we get rid of their Skrell then if they're going to do this beforehand. Because they can do this in response to this target. So we get rid of their Skrell. That's unfortunate, but I think it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can block their Skrelv. We have a Sunset Revelry in hand, which we can cast with our Zurgo. So I think we're alright here. We will have to block their Bloated Processor. We'll block the Ran here, I think, and then trade with the Might. Maybe we don't trade with the Might, we just take the damage. 3 damage, what could they have? They can do 2 more damage when they sack something. So yeah, we do have to block this. I think this remains true. I think we're gonna go ahead and block. You know, this maximum blocks here, just safety, could be okay. Probably gonna sack. That doesn't trigger your brand. That's actually huge. We just win on the snapback if they don't have a removal for the Sludge Monster. Or they have, if they don't have a blocker, rather. Skrelv's Hive, that's not gonna do it. Do they have anything else? Seed Core? Is that a good game? Zurgo and Ojutai coming in over the top. We got Sludge Monster here as well. Gotta get their Gix down. We have Sunset Revelry, should be able to buy us a turn realistically. Gix. They can sack to the Bloated Processor, they can sack everything else. Okay, there's another dub. That feels good. It is, you do gotta do some serious piloting, but this deck does have a reasonable amount of power. Just Zurgo and Ojutai's ability to just draw you out of games is very awesome. And then we had the ability to bounce it to our hand to protect it. I don't know if it was necessary there, because our opponent didn't end up drawing into another removal spell, but if they did, it could have been potentially relevant. We can play Oracle of Tragedy turn 2, and then we can start draw discarding. We could even draw discard an Oracle of Tragedy and then return it with an Extraction Specialist. Plaza of Heroes, it looks like we're playing against a Legends deck, which is a little scary, because, well, Esper Legends is the strongest deck in the format. Probably. Maybe in, like competitive circles. Maybe not best of 1. Playing best of 3. Draw discard. Anything good. That's not bad. We'll get rid of the Oracle of Tragedy. But then we can play out this Extraction Specialist and return the Oracle of Tragedy from our graveyard to the battlefield. We're playing like 1 or 2 copies of this card. Also is a 3/2 with lifelink, which can be pretty nice. Opponent played a Deathcap Glade. They could have a cut down, but it's going to cost them 2 mana because they have Thalia, and Thalia attacks as non-creature spells. This card. Okay, hold on. Might get a little quick peepers at their hand here. I think that's what we're gonna do. Oh my goodness, that is a spicy... I guess we're playing Abzan Legends, which is respectable. I like it. I think we're gonna go ahead and tax their Glissa here, because Glissa, Sunslayer, First Strike, Death Touch is kind of hard to deal with. And they also have Skrell here to protect it and give it unblockable, so they could draw cards with it if they can get it down. They're another mana off being able to play their Glissa, which is good for us. What do we want to do here? We can Knight-Errant of Eos, but that's not going to really draw us any cards here. We could Guardian of Ghirapur, blink the Oracle of Tragedy, and draw discard. Well, what would we discard exactly? I don't know. I think we'll just, well, we're going to draw discard when we do this anyways. Let's just do this. It seems like the best of both worlds. We don't get a 3/3 fly, which may be more relevant, so whoops. We'll draw discard. Can always shuffle stuff back in. Ooh, I kind of like the land. The Fateful Absent here, though, does seem pretty good. Maybe we get rid of Guardian of Ghirapur and hold up the Knight-Errant of Eos. We can start playing Zurgo next turn. We could Convoke it out right now. That would be... You know what? You only live once, right? Let's just go for it. Knight-Errant of Eos, Convoke for 4. We can pick up 2 4 mana or less creatures from the top 6. Hopefully we don't completely whiff. We completely win. Oh gosh. Alright, well, maybe not the brightest move, but it was quite fun. We're out of cards in hand. Just really kind of counting on that, drawing us a card here. We can Sludge Monster their, actually we can't Sludge Monster, we don't have enough mana. Alright, we'll go ahead and get Zurgo down and going. I think that's our best bet here. Don't think we need to bounce Zurgo and Ojutai, they don't have any removal, exactly. Alright, we can play out, grab another Knight-Errant of Eos to try and draw more cards. This can also draw cards or bounce things, but Knight-Errant of Eos is a bigger card. Decline, Zurgo, you can sit down for the turn. Oh gosh, do we do it again and just hard whip? You know what? We didn't learn, we're gonna try this again. We're playing two copies of Knight-Errant of Eos, I think. We do have a little bit of a high curve, but still, come on now. Alright, Guardian of Ghirapur seems nice. A Sludge Monster is cool and all, but we can't actually cast it at this particular moment, so we'll just pick up these two creatures that we can cast. We need another blue source for a Sludge Monster. One Knight-Errant of Eos on the defense. We got a pretty big board now. We can start potentially just attacking in. Now Gix, that is terrifying, because they can draw two now with this Bliss, so they can give it unblockable. Oh, they're going to actually give us the chance to block. Well, in that case, I think I will go ahead and no blocks. I think this is not a blocking moment here. Are they running Go for the Throat? They wouldn't be able to cast it with Thalia. They would need to draw it into another card, or a land, rather. Spara Falco Weaver sleeves, those are pretty cool. They drew into a land on top of, oh my goodness, that is... I didn't, well, hurt. Hurt. That was unfortunate. Hopefully we draw into a land, because then we can play this, draw a card. Okay, I didn't specify untapped land, so that's a bit my fault, but I was hoping for an untapped land so we could play out the Guardian of Ghirapur, blink the Inspiring Overseer, and draw another card and gain another life. And then we had to have two flyers. I think we go in with our two 4/4s. They are 1 mana off casting Ghalta, which is spooky. Ghalta and Mavern. The second mode would probably be most relevant for them. They found their next land, which is unfortunate for us. We do have some flyers here, so that's helpful. Okay. Oh, we have two blues, so we can just Sludge Monster the Ghalta. I think we go for Fateful Absence on the Ghalta, where we Sludge Monster the Ghalta and then cast... Because we can Sludge Monster... No, we don't have enough mana. Alright, so we just attack in with this, and that's just gonna have to do it. Man, this Thalia's taxing here is about to be the reason we lose. Alright, so we can play down this as a little protection for unblockable Dork. So they have enough diversity in colors that it's not going to really translate to being unblockable. We could blink our Oracle of Tragedy here and shuffle in our Ojutai and everything. What is it? Zurgo and Ojutai? Faithful Absence, we can still cast, but they can just protect it with a Skrelv. We're not quite dead because their Ghalta, even if they give it unblockable, does not one-shot us here. We need one more land. They can blow up our Skrelv, which is problematic because then we can't go completely unblockable here. But that is okay. We just need them to tap down their Skrelv. Yep. Are you going to create the XX dinosaur? No, you're going to create a bunch of lifelinkers, but they're not attacking. So if we can survive this attack, we can win the game. And we do! because their opponent concedes. We probably would have been able to survive. We had enough things to block with. They tapped down their scroll as well, so we could have actually cast the removal spell. Alright, we're actually kind of going on a win streak here. You can see the first 3 games I played with this deck, we lost. Or I lost, and that wasn't even in ranked queue, so I'm surprised we're doing quite as well as we are. I think we're getting a bit lucky here, but admittedly, I think I've tuned the cards a bit so that it's a little, like, better in terms of how we kind of curve out and can interact with our opponents here. This is not one of my entirely jank decks where where kind of need our opponents to just leave us alone for 3 turns. Alright, we can play out Rona or we can play Spirit Companion. Toxic. Selesnya Toxic is what I'm thinking. Or +1 counters. Okay, it's +1 counters. That is terrifying. Sludge Monster doesn't really deal with this stuff very well. So anyways, we're gonna draw this card and see what we find. That'll do. We could do we could pitch the Rona Herald of Invasion, return it with Extraction Specialist, but I think we'll just do that and then return the Spirit Companion with Extraction Specialist so we can draw a card. We can also block this Botanical Brawler with this Oracle of Tragedy, which will allow us to draw and discard if they kill it. I'm assuming they are going to do something here to pump up their Botanical Brawler. Yeah, that'll do it if they have a creature that comes in with a counter. That does not come in with a counter. That comes in with a +1 counter. Or sorry, an oil counter, not a +1 counter. It's a little different. Go ahead, play this, draw a card. So we return this. Alright, we're approaching Zurgo and Ojutai mana. We just need to find more lands. We can convoke this Knight-Errant of Eos with the Spirit Companion, but that's not going to find us lands. It only finds us creatures. Oh gosh, that's scary. No, opponent, you're supposed to put the +1 counters on Evolving Adaptive so Botanical Brawler sees it and then puts 2 +1 counters on itself. Opponent misses out here on some value, which is kind of sad to see, but it happens. We're going to go ahead and block, or probably convoke for 2, or maybe we just play this. I mean, we can still convoke out this holy. Yeah, auto pay. We can convoke this for 3. I don't really want to convoke it with those. I get to pick though. We want our Oracle of Tragedy here to actually die, because it can help us draw this card to find more stuff. We have to find a 3-drop, which is not bad. This 3-drop will draw us cards, so we can hopefully find that 5th mana so we can start going over the top with our Inspiring Overseer. Knight-Errant of Eos. Oh, that's a game. If they get a lifelink counter on that, there's no way we can do anything about it. They're probably going to get it flying, though, first. Yeah. And then they put the counters in something else. You're missing out on ability to attack in with your Evolving Adaptive. Because Botanical Brawler's ability here says, whenever 1 or more +1 counters are put on another permanent you control, if that's the first time +1 counters have been put on that permanent, this turn put a +1 counter on Botanical Brawler. So they're literally missing out on free +1 counters. Kind of annoying to watch, but alright, play this, draw a card. Draw this card. We can get rid of a second Ojutai. And then we can convoke this out with this, and then 2 more mana. What do we can block? Actually, we'll just go with this and this. Because we can attack in with his Extraction Specialist. Ooh, a balanced stat actually works super well against our opponent here. And then another Extraction Specialist, because if something dies, we can return it, or we can shuffle stuff back in. Yep, we're going to go for the Elspeth here. This will gain us some life. But yeah, we can bounce with this Aether Channeler, which is probably going to be relevant because their Botanical Brawler is getting out of control quite rapidly here. But yeah, return another non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Works really well against +1 counters. Though this thing might just be shaping up to be lethal this turn. It's gonna be 14/14. Vigilance, not bad. They finally put the counters on something else. Oh my goodness. There's no real point in blocking. Inspiring Overseer is only going to prevent 1 damage here. Alright, we do have 1 mana open to do the, or 1 additional mana here. We'll go ahead, return this to your hand. Thank you. I would like you to rebuild that card for me, would you? And then we'll actually go ahead and play Anointed Peacekeeper, just to be extra annoying and say Botanical Brawler, so they have to spend all their mana to do that. And then we can draw discard, I guess. Don't think it was really necessary to draw and discard right here, but actually we can discard the Skrell because we can reanimate it with the Extraction Specialist. Though at the same time, probably best to just discard a Sludge Monster. Attacking with 2 Knight-Errant of Eos. We'll go ahead, swing face with this. Actually maybe we attacking all on this. Yeah, this works. This guarantees we get rid of their Elspeth, which is probably worth. Gain of life. We have enough blockers, I think, to live. Oh god. I didn't really count. It comes with 3 counters because it gets an additional counter from Ozolith. Does grow their evolving adaptive. And then they get to put 2+1 counters on something. At least we'll get to have our Oracle of Tragedy do something. They can cycle their Ozolith in their hand. They don't go for it. They keep their Orochi Merge Keeper here, untapped. Getting rid of their Elspeth, though, is kind of crucial. Yep. This is what they should have been doing, putting the counters on other creatures, and the Botanical Brawler will naturally grow. But they kept on just spamming their other creature, which kind of stopped things from going. I think we go just Aerial Assault here. I guess we can draw this card and see what we find. Ooh, that's kind of nice. What does this prevent? Red and black, so it's not actually that useful, and they're not going to have any fight spells, so we can actually just get rid of it. Alright, we're going to go in with these creatures. Ooh, Sunset Reverie, that's huge. Decline, I don't think they're going to be fighting it. Gain 4 life, take that. And then, oh, we should have attacked him with the extractions. It would have just died. Would have gained us some life. Next turn, though, we can just swing everything, and I think we win. If we survive here, which, you know, is a bit of an if, but... Botanical Brawler grows, and then it grows that one because it sees the other one grow. And then they grow things with the Siege Veteran, and they grow things with their Ozolith. Yep, put it on the Trampler. They could have just put that on +1 counters on another creature. Like I was saying before, Botanical Brawler likes seeing counters put on other creatures. So it's kind of strange that they keep on. We can jump back, block this 4/4. How much toughness do we need to put in front of this 13/13? We can also trade here. And then, I mean, if we do this, how much damage are we talking about here? Do we have lethal on the crackback? 13. That blocks 11, so we take only a few from this. I mean, we're not taking any damage from these. What happens if we leave Rona on... We take 8, or sorry, that's 8, so 5 from that. I think we can go ahead and do that, and then we can flip Rona here if we want. As to damage, I think we should just win. Yeah. I probably could have blocked differently, but I didn't want to waste too much more of my time, or like the opponent's time, because I try and play I try and play fast so that things aren't like entirely boring to watch, and Just because I find sometimes that it's it's helpful to well, actually, that's not really a good example of it, but sometimes it's easier to uh, learn by doing things the wrong way. It can be faster than just sitting there and pondering for like several minutes. Okay, this hand probably shouldn't have kept it, but that kind of saves it in my opinion here. Spirit Companion, very nice. Then we can blink it with the Guardian Ghirapur if it survives. I don't think our opponent's gonna waste mana to kill the Spirit Companion, but alright, Golgari Battles. I mean, Invasion Ixalan is actually a pretty good card draw spell in green. We played it in the ramp deck that we were playing, and it performed quite well. I really liked it. We can go ahead attacking the Spirit Companion, and then we're gonna go ahead and blink it. Opponent has Contagious Vorax, so it looks like they're kind of doing big Golgari things, which does make me curious what they're up to. Yay! A non-pain land white source. That's good. That means we can play out Rona and Spirit Companion next turn. And then we'll have Zurgo and Ojutai coming in the following turn, which is nice. Opponent here may be looking for removal. Nope, they have another land, so they might just play out the Vorik. Makes sense. We got quite a few flyers in this deck between the Guardian of Ghirapur, the Zurgo, and our, what is the other card that we have? The flyer, the 2/1 flyer that gains you life, draws you a card. I can't remember the name of the card ever. I don't know why. We can actually play this Oracle of Tragedy here instead of the Rona, which maybe you could debate whether or not is the right thing to do, but I don't know why I have like a strange obsession with this card. I feel like it's just good value, like absurdly good value. Hold on, I'll pull it up here again. When it enters the battlefield or dies, you can draw and then discard a card, shuffle up to 4 cards, or you can choose to shuffle up to 4 target cards with mana value 3 or greater from your graveyard into your library. So if that dies, we can go ahead and shuffle in our Zurgo and Ojutai, which is cool, which we'll go ahead and demonstrate. Why not? We're not going to let them flip this if we can, because it turns into a creature that can be kind of hard to kill. Do we need to draw and discard? I don't think so. Our hand's actually pretty good here. We'll just shuffle in this. Another Zurgo can't hurt for when they cut down, or not cut down, go for this, or Shieldred's Edict it once they sweep for the rest of our board. I don't think they'll be doing any of those sorts of things, but I don't believe we're going to be trying to bounce the Zurgo back to our hand. Our opponent hasn't played any removal here, but still don't think it's quite worth it in this current board state, because we might actually find, depends on what we draw off of the Zurgo and Ojutai. If we find another Zurgo and Ojutai and that's the only thing, sure. Do love this effect though. Very good in this kind of mid-range shell. Opponent battling it up, I like it. Do they have anything to actually help them get these battles besides just like a mildly large creature is my question. Owie. We're gonna definitely be swinging in with quite a few things. Yep, that thing has hexproof, so they can't remove it. I love the fact that it has hexproof for the turn it comes in. It makes me so happy that I don't have to see a creature played out and then murdered the instant I play it. We're getting our opponent pretty close to dead here. Flyers are no joke. Alright, we can actually Extraction Specialist something back here, which seems kind of nice. We'll take this. No decline. If they manage to kill our Zurgo and Ojutai, we can also just like Extraction Specialist back the Oracle of Tragedy, and then that can shuffle in the Zurgo and Ojutai, which would be funny. Yeah, we have actually quite a bit of grind here between some of our cards, Extraction Specialist and whatnot. Chump block. Drag to the bottom. Okay, so this is a pretty decent spot here, I think, to go ahead and Extraction Specialist, and then Oracle. Actually, we can draw a card, and then we can just play this Oracle of Tragedy. And that can shuffle in our, like, Zurgo. We'll play this, and then we'll shuffle in the Zurgo and Ojutai, so hopefully we draw it, because I love that card. Oh, we can actually shuffle in the Guardian of Ghirapur too. I forgot. I love this card. I don't think it's actually that insanely like meta or like great, but it just feels fun to play. Seachrome Coast. Alright, do you have more sweeping removal? We do have ways to draw cards between Aether Channeler. This can draw a card. This draws a card, so. And then Rona, Herald of Invasion, can draw and discard. Opponent's playing. This gave it. They have 3 land types, so this did -4/-4, so they just had the perfect number of minuses. Thanks to Ziatora to cut through. Finding more lands. I feel like Drag to the Bottom is going to be much harder to play once these Triomes rotate. I do feel bad for Domain in that regard. Triomes are so good for the Domain because they have 3 basic land types. Opponent, you got 2 mana. Are you going to do anything with it? Oh, that's not bad. I think I want to draw a card here. We could bounce this Contagious Vorak so that we can attack in. But I think we're going to start by drawing a card. And we could Knight-Errant of Eos. But I think we might save that for next turn. Though we could just Knight-Errant of Eos off of all of our creatures, and we'll have a 4/4 blocker. Doesn't seem bad. So we might play out one more creature before we do that. We'll play this draw a card, because I don't really think we need to bounce their Vorak here. We're going to Knight-Errant of Eos, we should be fine. Though if they sweeper everything after we Knight-Errant of Eos, that will be pretty sad. Draw, 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 draw. My goodness. Look at us go. Look at us go. Ooh, Surge of Salvation would have been nice to have on tap. Alright, well, this can't block. This. Oop, flip this and this sideways as well. Orbital Tragedy. Now we can pick up a Ojutai from the top 6 because we convoked for 5 and Ojutai is 5 mana. Or we could pick up a one of the slime things, or the another Knight-Errant of Eos. We do have like 3 5-mana cost cards that we're playing, and we hit none of them. Actually, we do hit one of them. That's cool. All right, not bad. And a flyer wouldn't be bad either, so we'll take this. Awesome. Not bad in the shell, I feel like. I have to try like just a generic Knights deck. But the thing is, when I'm playing these tribal decks, I always want to try and play them with Kayla's Reconstruction first. And so that puts the restriction that you need all your cards to be 3 mana or less so that you can hit them with Kayla's Reconstruction. And you need them creatures or artifacts. So Knight-Errant of Eos doesn't quite work in that plan, so yeah, I figured that might happen. Hey, we can keep shuffling in all the good stuff, opponent. It's I think we did shuffle in the thing that can return creatures, which is good. Opponent here that they're shaping up to get like a Kogla here and just run in. Oh my goodness, I couldn't be more on point with that call. That's hilarious. We're gonna hold up the Surge of Salvation, I think. Though if we play a Rona here. Ooh, this can help us hold up. No. Because we can play this, and then we can hold up Surge of Salvation so they can't remove our creatures. And then we can hopefully win if we get to flip this Rona. Because they can't remove our creatures without a Surge of Salvationing. Are you gonna Fight Spell or Zurgo and Ojutai? Fight target creature you don't control. Yeah, about that. They have hexproof, and that should be about game. Should be about game. Never said it was. Alright. Why don't we just flip this? Is flipping this even worth it? I don't know if that's true. Okay. I don't think we have like a clean way to lethal here. We could draw a card with Sunset Revelry, so that is a place to start. It's a land. Alright, we could still flip this for 5 mana, and then we can cast something for free, but casting something for free doesn't really work well with Knight-Errant of Eos. Alright, let's go ahead and just attack on Zurgo and Ojutai. It's gonna be a two-turn bonanza here. Ooh, another Zurgo and Ojutai means we don't have to return it to our hand, but Inspiring Overseer is something we could play this turn for a fair amount of value. Alright, we'll do this. We can bounce it to hand. Yep. And then we can play out this, draw a card, gain a life. And then, oh my goodness, we found the other one. Or one of the other ones. We can play this, blink this, draw a card, gain a life. And then end turn. I don't know if they have an answer to us hasting in a dragon next turn. I'd like to see it if they do. Is Jeskai midrange actually just really good? I feel like we're getting lucky. But we haven't lost a game yet. Knock on wood. I'm not actually gonna knock on wood because I feel like it'd be kind of loud and annoying, but I tapped on the desk that I'm playing with. Or playing on. Reality 2005. Is it setting in the reality that Zurgo and Ojutai is going to cacaw in and potentially win us a game next turn? I do like I've played this whole bounce thing more than I thought I would, because it's just kind of nice that like, oh, I have lethal next turn. I just need this dragon not to die, so I can literally bounce it to my hand so it can't die to sweeper or targeted removal. The only thing that they could do is sweeper that turn and then edict while you cast it, which would be painful, but we should actually be able to avoid if they even have that, because we can play out a Guardian of Ghirapur first. Because I think we have enough mana. Yeah, we have 9 mana, so we have plenty of mana. They would need to gain a bunch of life here. Volcanic Spite, sure. They need like a... no, I don't think they could do anything. I guess they could play with fire, the Inspiring Overseer, Volcanic Spite, and then hold up a Edict. But even then, we're gonna be coming in with Hexproof next turn. Damn. Dragon value is kind of crazy. Alright, just go in. That's fine. We are not going to draw and discard. There's no need to. Hand is actually kind of decent. Knight-Errant of Eos makes a pretty good creature. Go ahead, swinging with the Zurgo and Inspiring Overseer. Opponent, do you have anything fancy? I'm trying to think what they could do. I guess they could have still held up their removal, so we should have played out another creature here just in case they had, I don't know. They have that. Okay, interesting. Sure. That seems like a pretty good choice. Not being able to remove our things is not bad. And then we can even untap this if we want. Or we could just cast Knight-Errant of Eos. Let's blink it. Blink it for the sake of blinking it. End turn. Untap dragon on the defense, just so that they can't surprise kill us. So if they have another drag under, it's good that we have a Zurgo and Ojutai in hand. Did not count for March of Wretched Sorrows in my in my plan. Just in case they have some fancy removal here, or like a fan. Just in case they're holding up like a explosive singularity for 10 damage, we'll just go ahead and play this. Yep, that was something I was a little worried about. But we still have Zurgo and Ojutai and a Knight. And okay, that's game. Good. Opponent. I'm sorry to say, but it is over. We'll say we haven't necessarily been playing against tiered decks here with our opponents, so we are getting... We got a bit lucky in that sense. Or well, this deck was our opponent was playing certainly not a super competitive list, but I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you enjoyed this video, maybe you'll enjoy, maybe not yesterday's video, but the video before that we did a very interesting deck where we played All Will Be One with some of the new battle cards, and it worked out alright. Definitely don't think it's quite as strong, but it was definitely a fun way to play it around with All Will Be One and the new battle cards. However, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.